All right, Aries, we've got a 9-card spread here with the Thoth deck. I'm going to start out here with this 9 of Cups. You get a 9 of Cups here. It is a happiness card, but in this reading, it came out with the ill-dignified meaning, self-praise, and it's like a warning. It's also kind of like an exclamation over the whole reading. So it's not only warning, but it's also like a theme of warning from past interactions, past behavior, and future pitfalls. The Four of Swords. Four of Swords comes up next. This Four of Swords is establishment of dogma. And it came with like a warning energy. Like, be careful with establishment of a dogma around oneself. That would not be the direction one would want to go in. If one felt that they resonated with this reading and that you were going in that direction. And the top row finishes out 10 of Swords. This 10 of Swords, this is kind of like a miniature version of the Tower. And the way it came off, it feels like it's the heralding the end of delusion. So it's kind of a painful positive kind of thing. That's why I called it like a mini tower. Now the middle section here, you got the Hermit. It's your first major arcana. You got the Hermit, and this Hermit is retirement from participation in current events. This is retirement from participation in current events, heralding into delusion. If there is self-praise or establishment of dogma around oneself and it had to do with others or certain activities that one kind of found themselves regularly involved in, whether it be crime or after-school sports, whatever. This Hermit, this seems to be, this almost feels like a correction that could be made right now. Like you stand at the precipice of correction, like you could definitely back away from participation in certain events. Maybe you're involved in something. Maybe it is crime. Maybe it is, secret love affairs. Maybe it is embezzlement or something. Whatever it is. But retirement from participation in current events, heralding the delusion. A person who's in crime, let's say, for example, just decides to get out of it because they're going to stop having the delusion that they could not get caught. That their idea of being untouchable, something that mobsters used to fall prey to, the idea that they were untouchable, that's like an establishment of dogma around themselves. And I'm not saying that to Aries, this is what you're doing. I'm just trying to use an example, maybe far less severe that you recognize in this reading and in yourself. Now we have we got the 6. We got the little 6 of discs here. 6 of discs. Now this has to do with prodigality, or reckless with money, reckless with money. So if there is self-praise and establishment of dogma, and maybe a need to retreat from current events, maybe people you've been hanging around, maybe you've been spending too much money, maybe you've been creating an identity that's just hard to keep up with. Maybe it's just too expensive. Maybe something similar to that. But it's retreat from current events has to do with this curving of this reckless spendthriftedness. The 7 of Swords, I sought clarification on it as to whether it's someone outside of you or you yourself, Aries, and the clarification I got is this is aimed at you, as these three in the middle are withdrawing from current events and recognizing reckless spendthrift or wasteful nature. This right here, the futility card, it says that you're being a bit of an untrustworthy person. And perhaps the retreat from current events will help correct some of this, but the cards say that your behavior as of late has, and viewed from an outsider's perspective, you Aries have been a bit untrustworthy. Maybe you recognize that in yourself. We've all went through times where we've not behaved the best, or with the most impeccability. The final three cards, we have the Star. It's your next major arcana. This has to do with disappointment in a relationship. Perhaps withdrawing, perhaps the overspending, perhaps the untrustworthiness is going to signal the end of possibly a relationship that you were kind of excited about. The Five of Cups, disappointment. So the divination off of this card, this Star, was disappointment. The very next card you drew is the disappointment card. So these two, unfortunately, and the divination off of this one, off of this Five of Cups, is a vain regret. So there's a bit of vain regret here. This is followed up with another card, the Empress. That's your third major arcana. Hermit, Star, and Empress. This Empress card goes along with these two. So this is disappointment, vain regret, and unfulfilled sensuality. So this relationship that you had some early excitement for, it's being derailed by these two up here. The self-praise and establishment of dogma and a herald of the ending of a delusion of the untrustworthiness that's been revealed as you withdraw from the prodigality of over-reckless behavior that's not something a person can keep up with forever. And it brings an end, this excitable, possible relationship here with disappointment, vain regret, and unfulfilled sensuality. Don't give up, Aries. Not every reading can be roses and candy. That's what I have for you, Aries.